And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to Koi Play Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, just as FYI, individual reads are back up and running, so if interested, either message or email me. Link is on main, and we can set that up, okay? So, what are we looking at? It's been a long while because of all my life changes and all the changes happening around us that I've made uploads, particularly this style of reading. And what you see on the board are all fives. This is contradictory towards the former style of reading that I did, which was the first and last, marking the energetic changes of 1 month to the next, one season to the next, etc. Now, I think it's a better time to hop into the fives, which are, if you watch the Learn With Me series, cards of conflict. Essentially, we're going to dive right in with a different type of read, more simpler, but very much to the point, that I like to call As Things Change, ATC. We look at all the elements, water, earth, fire, and air, cups, pentacles, wands, and swords respectively, and see what's going on and how we engage with conflict. May not have the first and last element, but it's still, we jump straight into the problem, and by extension, we jump easier into a solution. You see what I'm saying? So as a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times when it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you or mislead you. I'm here to say what's on the board, right? I got 12 signs to do. I'm not going to just lie to one. We lay all our cards out. And good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it. Because at the end of the day, tarot cards are just an exchange of energy and an energetic conversation. So follow along with me in your read today, Taurus, your As Things Change read. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. We're going to start over here with your Five of Cups. Show the cards that we need to see, please, for the Taurus Collective in this As Things Change read. What about that Five of Cups is necessary to understand? Well, that was easy. The world, the one above all. Why? Why? Sadness. Given the direction that it popped out in, I'm going to put it as the reverse. The Nine of Wands in the reverse, that efforts did not amount to much. Why? What else goes along with it? You want to make another one fly out? So those cards we need to see, please, for the Taurus Collective in this As Things Change read. Ten of Pentacles. Okay, how do we talk about this one, Taurus? The Five of Cups represents emotional sorrow and regret, right? It's the deep, lingering pain that we just feel we can't get an entire grasp of. Like, it's just almost drowning in that sense. First card that flew out was the World. The cycle has reached its absolute completion point. The Nine of Wands, normally one defined by continuous effort, try again. In the reverse, we feel all our efforts went towards nothing. The Ten of Pentacles, the foundation of a life that we wish to build, or at least the building blocks defined by the multitude of experiences and how they kind of coalesce together. Long story short, what we originally had a dream life set out for, we kind of got through for a curveball because we're realizing, for some reason or another, we cannot hold on to it. It's just not something that we can really control. And B, we've seen the signs before that a cycle is closing out. But remember, if one cycle closes, it's meant to make another one open. So yes, we had this perfect vision of what we thought that could have been. And the signs all around us are saying, yeah, that's not a thing for you right now. It really isn't. And as things change, we're trying to understand, I worked so hard for this. This is supposed to be the universe will not guide you to something that it didn't feel you were ready for, right? So it may not be the thing that you envision, doesn't mean that it isn't right for you, right? So we're just having not simply the notion of detachment and the struggle of letting go right now, but it's kind of like sunken cost fallacy, right? The idea that I put so much time and effort to make this picture perfect idea of what I wanted, and I'm struggling to let it go because everything that I built in my head, is it crashing down, or if I define it solely like by it being perfect? Because if you look at the stuff around you, it doesn't necessarily look entirely bad, but it's going in a completely different direction. And that doesn't necessarily mean that everything went wrong. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at the Five of Pentacles. What about blockade and struggle? The notion of either flat out impoverishment or the things we feel left out from. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for the Taurus Collective upon the Five of Pentacles in their read today. As things change, what do we see? Three of Cups. Okay. Okay. Seven of Swords. What has that reunion taught you? The Page of Cups. Okay. Now this is playing out a little bit more. The reunion of a friend or a confidant, somebody you felt, they hold a certain kind of space in your heart. Underneath that Five of Pentacles is actually showing you something that's kind of blatantly obvious, right? The Seven of Swords is normally a card of, deception, or, hey, not everything is as it appears on the surface. But there's also the Page of Cups next to that, meaning you saw the value in the little things. Having all that underneath the Five of Pentacles, Taurus, what I'm looking at is, I don't know if this is recent or actually actively ongoing, but you're reuniting with somebody who's actually teaching you there's more value in the little things rather than this big grandiose landscape that you had set out for yourself, this immovable, unshakable, we will not budge on this. No, whatever this person is, and it seems like, it could be a friend, family member, etc. They're really teaching you, no, the beauty is in the little things. Like, yeah, you have your big goal in mind, but the reason why you feel so locked out right now is because you set aside your own personal needs and everything just to accomplish that you forgot what actual living felt like, right? The Five of Pentacles is actually battling that Seven of Swords, at least in my opinion, because this reunion is showing you Page of Cups, Page of Cups, Page of Cups, right? It may not be, shrimp and lobster tails every time. There's beauty in, a fish sandwich, right? I think that this reunion is really showing you, like, you dig a little bit deeper underneath and we understand why we were so dead set and having that unshakable, right? Immovable, this vision cannot be changed. We were so dead set on it at once that we forgot why we were doing it. And so that Page of Cups constantly coming out, the vacancy here, the feeling of being left out, created a space of desperation, or the notion of, energetic chasing in a way that we locked ourselves out from what we saw as that vision. We forgot the reason why we were aiming for it, whether that be the bigger career, the bigger everything. And it's more to enjoy life's little things, right? What we were doing on the surface, that Seven of Swords, is not exactly adding up to how we actually feel. What do you actually feel, Taurus? Just something to ponder. Next to the Five of Wands. Show us cards that we need to see, please, upon the Five of Wands in this read. What about engaging in the heat of external conflict? As things change, what do we want Taurus to see? Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Card of steadfast action. Star. Okay. Our hope in the night sky. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Devil, the card of Capricorn. Star, the card of Aquarius. what was once our aim became, what is a nice way to say this, Taurus? Let's start from the beginning. You'll understand why I'm having this opinion. What was once our aim, because again, this is all located under dealing with external conflict, right? That energetic pushback. How do we engage in that tough conversation? What was once our aim, our hope, our dream became kind of the bane of our existence, right? I'm saying this because the Seven of Pentacles, our situation has not changed, right? We're accepting, yeah, I'm willing to do the long work, like hard work pays off, all, those good work, those good slogans. And yes, at one point, this is the biggest hope that I had, the star in a sea full of black void, the light that I could see that would guide me. And now it's become the devil, the heart of Capricorn. Let me clarify what that means. The devil here is one of the big three cards besides the Tower and Death. They get one of the worst raps in tarot. The devil in this way is one of the most honest cards in the tarot card deck. Out of all the 78 cards, it's incredibly honest. It just points out the obvious of what we don't like about ourselves, right? So in here, remember the storyline we already have laid out. What was once our aim, now we're struggling to let go because, well, I fought so long for this. Why would I do that? Because what was once your hope became the bane of your existence, right? That perfect life that you were trying to aim for, it has to go this exact way. I can't budge. I can't move. No, your willingness, your hard work and effort, that Seven of Pentacles is still very much evident. However, you're actually getting no joy from doing this, right? What was once your hope, your bigger aim, just became kind of your prison in a way because you couldn't move, you couldn't budge. And I think that that's almost, the combative energy you have underneath that Five of Pentacles collective over here is that once we reunited or started talking with whoever this person was to you, it made you realize that, oh my gosh, I'm fighting for this ideal and I hate it here. I don't like it here. I don't want to be here, right? I'm doing all the effort, and the reason why it isn't adding up ultimately is because maybe it's probably not meant for me. But I'm going to keep on chugging along. I'm going to keep on putting in that effort. And what happened is that our hope turned into our bane, right? It didn't turn into despair. You have not given up. You have not said, I'm going to give up on my dreams and my goals. No, now it's like you're hate watching or you're hate pushing yourself through it. And it really shouldn't be like that, Taurus. But with where everything is right now, you're kind of really trying to break the habit and ask, why am I doing this again? Right? If all I could say is this is how my life should be, but I'm miserable even connecting those words in that sentence, that should already tell me and clue me in to switch it up, right? That should tell me and clue me into, hey, maybe this isn't meant for me, or I'm approaching this wrong. But where we're at right now, we're taking it out on ourselves and saying, no, I need to go back to what I was doing because I need to have whatever that envisionment of life was. What happens if the star is not meant for you? Or what happens if the star isn't originally where you wanted to be? Right now, we have to ask these tough questions because, again, we're forgetting the little joys of life, the things that idealistic building up, those roots and everything we were trying to plant, that's what it was trying to grow. If we don't have a plan or we forget the vision of what we truly want, then we're just working for the sake of working. It's more than that. To the Five of Swords, the feeling of self-sabotage or the war within, all of the internal conversations, hopes, doubts, and fears wrapped into one. Show the cards that we need to see, please, upon that Five of Swords. Where do our thoughts take us? Three of Wands. Okay. And so the expectation of what's happening, the King of Pentacles. Interesting. Why? The Ten of Cups. Yeah. And so are things too good to be believed, or are they not what they're cracked up to be? Right? The more that you see the better things with, yeah, there could be forms of adjustment, right? Whatever this reunion is, going back to this over here, it's teaching me to value things that I purposely, suppressed or shunned away. With that Five of Swords, we're kind of blaming ourselves for being happy, which is very weird in the context. But that Three of Wands, hey, this is the vision that I have. That King of Pentacles, I know how to invest. I know what's right for me. And the Ten of Cups, I'm feeling more okay than ever, but mentally, I just can't step out of this framework, right? If it isn't punishment, then what is it? It's life, right? It should not have to be draining. It should not have to be always an uphill battle. Like, you're almost sad and in disbelief that it can actually feel good to not only live in the moment, but absorb the little things, the little happiness, and understand that life can be flexible. Right now, emotionally, we're very much getting there. Intellectually, we're saying that's a wrong feeling because it has to look one way or the other. And so, why is it being fundamentally forced in a different direction? Because it shouldn't be punishment. Life should not just be punishment. Trust me, Taurus, it shouldn't. Underneath it all, the Chariot, the card of Cancer. What is imperative to your journey here and now? Let's get one card for each element underneath. Show us the cards we need to see, please, for the Taurus Collective. Underneath each five, what do we need to know as things change? Does break. Why are we breaking? Show us the cards we need to see, please. One for each element. Nice. Okay. Well, didn't pop on the table, so I will not take. Let's start with the Five of Cups over there. Ten of Swords. And so, regardless of how we feel, we're still going through the motions and we're still not ready to give everything up because, again, sunken cost fallacy. If you don't know what that is, Taurus, please do look it up. It's coming to a hard end, right? That Ten of Swords, this is not a sustainable way of going. It's not a sustainable way of being. That Nine of Wands in the reverse already taught us that. Whereas we once struggled through it, now I know it's painful to say a certain modality came to an end, but right now, the pain of that is actually supposed to teach you that it should be different, right? It's not a total and absolute loss. Here, it's actually to show, no, life is bigger than the one story that we set out for ourselves. Next, underneath that Five of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. Oh, why is that reunion just so anxiety-inducing for you? Why is the Nine of Swords underneath that Five of Pentacles collective? Because this person, whoever you're reuniting with, it's actually, and I don't think that's intentional at all, Taurus, because again, I'm getting this vibe that you and whoever this person is bringing out the best of you, right? But in doing so, in their natural carefree attitude or their new outlook that differs from your life perspective, it kind of shows the obvious a lot. Like I was saying earlier, if we start to pick at if whatever this person is bringing to the table when you two reunite, right, it starts to show you the value of the little things. It kind of opens up the floodgates to everything that we've kind of gotten rid of within ourselves. And Nine of Swords then being not the fact that they're aren't telling you the truth. In fact, they're just being. And in noticing that, and noticing how happy you are with them, and noticing, no, I have more dreams and visions and things I want to do than just what I previously said I could be. It's kind of painful to realize what you locked yourself out from. Next to that Five of Wands, Five of Cups. Yeah. Because once we start to engage in that process, then we have to sit with just the stillness and the deepness of sadness, right? That this was once our hope, and now it's become kind of our prison guard. It's really not doing anything. Our prison warden is not doing anything but making us feel sad because we thought it would bring fulfillment. In fact, it's just bringing us more pain. Page of Pentacles. And so if we had this emotional, upheaval within ourselves around everything going on, then we're almost afraid to give it a shot. And I don't want you to be stuck in that state, Taurus. There's too much happiness, too much opportunity, too much everything around you for you to just say that we can't try this. This cannot be done. Okay, underneath it all, Five of Pentacles. Okay. So that Five of Pentacles is different from this one, whereas the other one shows you the opportunities or the happiness that you were locked out from. This Five of Pentacles over here, more to do with the materiality of coin, i.e. The notion of poverty or not having the amount of money or wealth in your coffers that you originally hoped that you could have or attain. So the journey, where it stands right now, do you just want to be miserable and more financially well off, or do you want to be happy? Because happiness doesn't look with the same with the envisionment of the bank account, right? It looks kind of different. And it doesn't mean it's absolute poverty or absolute being broke, but it may not be as fabulous and luxurious as you originally set out for this rigid plan from before. Okay. Next, as we move towards resolution, define the major arcana straight across the table in the reading. We will first look at the star, the card of Aquarius. Why was it once our hope? Oh, I missed one over here. Never mind. Let's look at the world. What about that almost popped out? Star almost popped out, but again, can't take unless you're at the table. Looking towards the world, why is everything shifting? Why is that cycle coming to an end? Well, we originally thought everything could be. So let's go to need to see, please. We will define this and then move forward. To the world. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Nine of Swords here. Whereas this Nine of Swords was defined by this reunion and this meeting of, wow, I finally realized what it means to be me again, and I hate this entire process. This Nine of Swords over here, yeah, that entire cycle is coming to an end. And we may not like what it's saying about ourselves in the process, but it's to lighten the load off of our back, Taurus. It's to say, hey, this is what it means to actually be worth it. This is what that looks like. To the star. Page of Cups. That the little things can now be accounted for in that big dream. Ooh, yeah, they can, but if everything is set to the wayside, then it explains the emotional void we're having right now, right? The Page of Cups is the smallest of the cups, but it also is one of the purest in intention, right? Here underneath that star, I did this because I wanted to be happy. I wanted to be happy for the little things. I didn't want to feel a sense of anxiety around, job security, or I didn't want to feel that all my efforts went to nothing. But maybe I should be aiming for bigger, and the little things will figure themselves out. Little things naturally fall into place, right? The fact that that was our analytical strategy means that we're trying to cover everything. And in the process, we're suppressing the very things that we're supposed to be defending or having value in. Next to the Devil, Four of Cups. Yeah. Because you went so long, Taurus. You don't want to be dissatisfied. Come on, just do it a little bit more. You can do it. Come on. Just struggle a little bit more. This is what it's supposed to be about, right? Wrong. Right? I think this reunion, whatever this is, whoever this person is to you, Taurus, is going to bring out a side of you, a really happy but also suppressed side of you that you've been holding on for very long. I want you to have a conversation with that version of you and ask what happened. In resolution, Eight of Cups, walking away, making the intentional act of abandonment here to this process so that something new and something better can open up. King of Cups, that when push comes to shove, when it all falls down, we understand that maybe, just maybe, it was the right thing to do, even if painful. Underneath it all, Seven of Swords. Because not everything is as it seems. Maybe this too was part of that journey. What I see in your read today, Taurus, I'm looking at a Taurus who, long story short, they had this entire game plan for their life set out for them that the factors around them and the universe in general is trying to close out that chapter, because while they were being somewhat successful in its wake, we're also understanding that they were burning themselves out and it was no longer meant for them, because it was supposed to be a process of happiness, not just one of struggle. There's more to life than struggle, I promise you that. And the starting point of this realization is a reunion with somebody that you hold dear in friendship and regard. They remind you of the best of you coming out, why that needed to close, and then it makes you realize just, hey, what am I actually doing? Then when we start to engage in that conflict, no, your effort and your work ethic, that has not changed. However, your stars should not become the devil on your shoulder, right? The hopes that you have should never have become, well, you got to be here. You got to force yourself through that process. No, you don't. And I don't want you to lose any more time trying to say I can force myself rather than just be, right? I can be both hardworking and happy and seeing the good and the value out of life every step of the way. Those don't have to be suppressed ideas. Those don't have to be clashing ideas, right? Sorry, I'm trying to address a crick I felt at my ankle just now. Long story short, it forces whatever this reunion once was, will now force you to engage with, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why am I here? And so the feeling of self-sabotage right now, this is a battle of the heart versus the head, whereas emotionally and spiritually, we're actually starting to open up and like ourselves throughout the process again. Intellectually, we're saying, well, it should be struggle. It should be pain, and it should be this, story of conflict and battle, because otherwise I may not be doing it right. And maybe that is the point right there, Taurus, of no, maybe it doesn't always have to be that. Our willingness to even look at this emotional opening here already dictates that intellectually, this is burning you out, and it's probably not meant for you to be in that mode, or it's not meant to be that way. So yeah, did it originally result in this extravagance that you had laid out for yourself? No, but also what's going on internally is that maybe this is part of that journey, learning that there's a different way to get there, or at least a different way of doing things. That's how I got in your read today, Taurus. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be the easiest conversation with yourself, particularly after you have this friend or this confidant just show you the beauty of life around you. But what it will remind you of is why you did it in the first place. And maybe that was the purpose behind it all. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.